New York, the big city of dreams, or the most daunting city depending on who you ask. When I was in college, I had a lot of questions of just how to get started. So I thought I'd make a video of a few tips to follow for you guys who just don't know where to get started.
Number one is get hard skills. First, you need to know the difference between a hard skill and a soft skill, right? A lot of kids who come to New York City are very highly educated. So it's very hard to kind of separate yourself. A hard skill is something that's really going to help separate you and is very quantifiable, whereas a soft skill is not quantifiable. So a lot of kids come in and they're like, listen, I'm going to get an internship immediately, and I'm a very good people person, and I can get along with anyone, and I can do this, and I can learn quick on the job. Get this through your head. Everyone is great with soft skills in New York City. Everyone can talk to someone. Everyone's very smart. Everyone can be friends with everyone. Trust me, you're gonna see that a lot. To separate yourself from other kids, you really need to have a hard skill that's quantifiable, because a lot of kids that come to New York City have just like liberal arts degrees or something like that. College is a scam. And a lot of kids think that, oh, well, I can write really well and I'll just be a copywriter, or I'll do this and that. And it's really not how it works. You need to bring value to the company from day one, have an immediate impact from day one. You need to be able to separate yourself from your peers. And I'm gonna tell you guys like how to do that, because like I'll watch guys like Gary Vaynerchuk or Lewis Howes, and they never really tell you how to do it. So one thing you should really learn, especially if you're going through a creative field, is really getting a great sense of the Adobe Creative Cloud. Businesses always need Creative Cloud experts, basically. And of course, you're just gonna be stepping in as an intern probably. But if you have intermediate Creative Cloud use, there is always gonna be a spot for you opened up where you could sit down at a desk and work for free and do Creative Cloud stuff for them. So I would suggest that no matter what you wanna do, you learn Photoshop, you learn Illustrator, you learn the Adobe Premiere. You're gonna wanna teach yourself things a lot. So a lot of people wanna come to New York City and maybe code or something like that. You're gonna have to teach yourself all of that stuff before you even get here. And unless you're becoming, let's say, a lawyer, a doctor, an engineer, or something with a specialized degree, college doesn't mean shit. To me, college was a huge waste of time, because I was a marketing major for 3.5 years, and I took one marketing class. I've taken 4 accounting classes, but only one marketing class. And the truth of the matter is that accounting is great. It's great to know a basic, some type of basic knowledge of accounting. But the way technology is going, I mean, I know people that don't even use accountants anymore. Like, they just throw everything into software. And I get yelled at all the time for not knowing how to write a letter the right way, like how to put the address and stuff on. When I say to like old people and like that try to laugh at me about that, it's like, hey, here's this abacus, go solve this calculus problem. And of course they can't do it, man, because obviously technology is always changing. We don't need to learn the same out-of-date, antiquated things. And college is extremely antiquated. Which brings me to number 2. Get an internship. So the first thing you want to do is sign up for LinkedIn and make that as detailed as possible. After you do that all with LinkedIn, you want to check out the companies that you want to work for. You want to check out their job boards daily. Internships come and go. They're very quick. They're very like ephemeral, but there's another one next semester. So you need to also stay on top of that. Remember, you might not get it this semester, but you can always get it next semester. So continue checking back and back and back. Eventually, you're gonna have to send an online resume, especially for an internship. Fuck online resumes. After college, online resumes are the biggest scam going. I'll get into why I really don't like online resumes maybe in the comments below if you guys want to ask questions. But to kind of like make a synopsis of the whole thing, getting your resumes in front of an HR person is extremely difficult, especially in these like more popular companies that probably you're the only ones that you know about at the moment. They get inundated with resumes all the time, literally all the time. 3,000 resumes, you got to fill a job in a week. It's very difficult to go through all of them and still get work done throughout the day. So to counteract that, they kind of have these programs, these computer programs, in where they filter out resumes by, let's just say, keywords and stuff like that. And if your resume doesn't have the keywords that they're looking for, your resume doesn't even see the HR person's eyes. And let's say your resume does reach an HR person, right? There's a great chance that the HR person doesn't even like you, because the HR person doesn't even know what the job really entails of. What happens in a lot of these situations is that, let's say if you're a coder and you know Ruby, JavaScript, Java, and like all these languages, and anybody who knows like languages like that knows that like with 2 or 3 years of experience, you kind of have a great grasp of those coding languages, and you can work for a lot of companies. But what sometimes happens is that, like, let's say a hiring manager comes in and goes, oh, I want someone with 10 years of JavaScript experience. I want someone with every type of language possible. they need to know Ruby, they need to know Ruby on the Rails, I don't know. And the HR person is just like, yeah, sure. I'm gonna get you somebody like that. So the HR person will look at you with maybe 2 years of JavaScript knowledge, and they're like, wait, he doesn't have the 10 years of JavaScript knowledge. Your resume is already thrown out right there because the HR person doesn't really understand what JavaScript's even about. And next, with the resumes, you kind of want to be humble about it, but not too humble. Understand that with resumes in New York City that you're going to get taken advantage of. Just understand it. But you really need to ask yourself if you're okay with being taken advantage of. Just be aware of it and make a thoughtful decision of whether you want to continue or if you don't want to continue doing it. Not every internship is great. That's just the fact of it. I've had terrible internship experiences, and that's why I'm not really a proponent of internship. You know, to be totally honest with you guys, a lot of times, you know, a lot of people that you're working for had really dog shit internships, and then they just perpetuate the cycle, and they just really need people to work for free. And you're gonna have to understand that, and you're gonna have to go out of your way, and let's say if your internship is bad, you're gonna have to make it as good as you possibly can. Brings me to number 3, do your own thing. Maybe you didn't get the internship that you wanted, or you didn't get any internship, or internships aren't for you, like they're not for me. That's totally fine, but you can't just sit around all day and do nothing. You're gonna have to eventually get a website for yourself, or some type of portfolio for yourself. You're just gonna have to do something. One thing I've learned is that, like, man, my hair is terrible. You can't sit around all the time just being like, hey, listen, I just need a chance. Someone just give me a chance. Somebody give me a chance. The fact is, nobody's gonna give you a chance. You have to make your own chances. So do your own thing. You're probably gonna get paralyzed and you're gonna be in your own head and you're gonna be like, it doesn't look as good as I want it to look. Just work on it and put it out and continue working on it. Treat it like a real job. Sit down, tell your friends, nah bro, I'm working. This is a great time to work on your social media heavily. Jobs are now asking for social media handles. So they want to see not only what you're like, but they also want to see what type of following that you have. Especially if you work for a startup, which there's startups galore in New York City. This is something that they won't ever really tell you to your face. If you're someone with 10,000 followers and you're gonna work for a startup, they're gonna hire you quicker than they'll hire the kid with 0 followers because you bring a lot of free marketing to them. And of course that free marketing sounds shady, but it's not as shady as number 4. Yes, nepotism is your friend. If you have nothing but soft skills or minimal hard skills, nepotism is really everything for you. I learned that the hard way. I had minimal hard skills at the moment. I was just like a writer at the time and I was interning at this place or that place. And I just really wasn't getting to where I wanted to be. But eventually I got a job through somebody who I just went up to one day and was like, yo, what's up? Love your stuff. Love what you're doing at so-and-so company. Please, like, let's just be friends. I eventually also had to sell myself a little bit. I had to be like, hey, listen, my name is so-and-so. I work for this company. They're like, yeah, I know exactly who you are. And nepotism, by doing that and kind of selling yourself and kind of just trying to make connections here and there, you're really gonna help yourself out. And of course, it's fake. A lot of times it's extremely fake. I'm well known for not liking it. I'm very outspoken on that kind of stuff. But like, I do try to make genuine connections with people, but I feel like a lot of times genuine connections aren't there. It may be fake, but the fact is that you don't have to wrap yourself up in that fake world. You have to get over the fact that, like, listen, I know this person's fake, so I'm not gonna speak to them. Like, you can still be courteous to them, you can still be nice, you can still be friendly, especially. And unless they do something that's truly terrible to you, I would suggest brushing it off, continuing keeping a good connection with them. It sounds so bad, because I'm the type of person that's always like, oh, you're fake? Get out of here, I'm not friends with you anymore. You're gonna need to know some of these people, and you're gonna get help by some of these people, and one day you're gonna need to help these people or something like that. And it's always good if you're on a good connection with everyone. And not only that, but make sure you follow up with these people as well. You know, just because they might be the fake person or whatever it may be, doesn't mean that you don't have to be the good person. Number 5 is keep going, and this is probably the most important, definitely the most important out of all of these tips, because you're gonna get killed out there. Well, you're gonna want to give up constantly. Don't give up. Don't ever give up. That doesn't mean that you continue doing something that isn't working. Always take a step back and reassess. I've had to reassess hundreds of times, and I'm only 25 at the moment. I've been shitted on so many times. So many people don't like me. I've had the company that I was working for get sold and then just be jobless for months. And yet, I'm still working to get to where I want to be. I could have given up a long time ago, and like a lot of other NYC native kids, you know, I could have gotten a government job at so-and-so place, or worked for a union at so-and-so place. And of course, there's nothing wrong with those jobs, but I just always thought that wasn't the path for me. I know this is probably way longer than you guys wanted it to be, but just to recap, remember, get hard skills, get an internship, do your own thing if you can't get an internship, or even if you have an internship. Nepotism is your friend. And 5, keep going. Don't ever give up. If you truly want something, you're gonna make every sacrifice possible. But yep, that's it. If you guys want more videos and stuff like that, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Make sure to give this a thumbs up as well. And I will be answering all questions because I don't have any followers really, so I could read every question possible. I have a lot more videos coming out. It's 2017 and I'm pursuing my goals as well by creating more videos. So I wish you guys the best of luck, and I'll see you guys soon.